Okay, fourth grade, we are going to do this really cool leaf water droplet project. So you will have, I will probably have some fall leaf colors, so you can actually choose whatever yellow, orange, red, purple, green leaves. We're going to be creating the leaves, and then we are going to be creating the water droplets, and then I'm going to show you how to fold this. So we're actually going to be doing some origami, I guess you call that, when you're folding paper. So we'll be doing some of that as well. So you will have a piece of paper, a full piece of paper, whatever color you choose, and you are going to fold it hot dog style. So everyone is going to fold your paper hot dog. Now I'm going to turn it hamburger to draw it, because what I want is a perfect rainbow arch from corner to corner. This is how we're going to create our leaf. You are literally going to come to the corner of your paper. You're going to go up as high as you possibly can, and you're just going to do a really big rainbow arch all the way to the other corner of the paper. And I don't know if you can see that. Let me use a darker marker here. From corner, rainbow arch, all the way to the other corner. Just like that. Okay. Perfect. And then we are simply going to cut it out. Now, when you do the drawing, make sure that it is a taco sitting in your hand. You've got the taco part facing you. Make sure that the closed part, because otherwise when you open it, you're going to have little paper confetti. So make sure that the folded part is facing you. Make your rainbow like a taco. It almost looks like a taco, don't it? Make your taco, and you are simply going to cut off the extra. You're just going to cut the rainbow out. Okay. And don't worry, your leaf does not have to be perfect, but everyone's probably going to look a little different, and that's okay. And when you open it up, you have a leaf shape. Okay. Now, before we do the folding, we're actually going to draw in the drops first. So we'll actually draw in our drops, and then we'll do the folding the very last, because some of you might just like this look right here. Maybe you don't want the folded look. Maybe you want it to be more smooth, your texture. You want it to be smooth. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to actually put down all of your drops. So this is your composition. How do you want your leaf to look? How many drops do you want? Do you want one great big one? Do you want a few small ones? So your composition. So you're going to take your white chalk, and you are just going to create some circles, bigger ones, smaller ones, and you're just going to put them on your paper. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and blend those out. We're going to work with our white chalk first. I will tell you right now, if you are not very, very, very detailed and careful today, your little droplets will not turn out very well. It's going to be a mess, and you're going to have a lot of chalk on your paper. All right, sorry, I got interrupted. So I think I was saying that if you are not very, very, very careful today with your chalks, it's going to make a huge mess. So you have to listen very carefully. You have to follow these instructions perfectly, or you're not going to get water droplets. They're not going to look 3D and real. They'll just be a bunch of chalk on your paper. All right, so now before we move into that black, because that is going to be a little bit of a mess, we're going to go ahead and do our white. When we did our little water droplet study, remember it actually, we had that really white about halfway up, right? So you are going to add that white. We'll go ahead and blend that out. You want to go about halfway up, but you want to leave some of that green show through to make it look transparent or translucent, okay? Because we want it to have that little transparent, translucent look, like the water droplet, the green leaf is showing through. So you just want to put a little bit of chalk at the bottom. I do have the chalk on its feet because I need the detail. Okay, the chalk on the feet is going to give me the detail that I need today. And I'm just going to put like a little, I'm almost doing a little little U, and I'm just pulling that white, just pulling that white up to that green, but I'm letting that green show through. Okay, and you will do these with all your water droplets, however many you have. Even if you have a big water droplet, you're going to do the same exact thing I'm doing here. You're just going to do it on a bigger scale, however big your water droplet is. All right, so now we're going to add our shadows. And remember, there was a shadow on top of the water drop, and there was a shadow right below it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little curved line up at the top, but this is important. I have one light source coming onto this leaf. So you want to make sure that I don't have, maybe I don't want some facing this way, some facing that way. So if I decide that I want my top of my drop here and the bottom here, I need to do that with all of them. So here's my bottom, just a little U shape. Right at the bottom, and I'm going to do that with all of these. I know right now it looks weird. We're going to turn it into a raindrop. You want to leave the sides of the water droplets open because that's going to be way more transparent and translucent. You're not going to have a lot of shadow there. All right, this is where it's going to get tricky because I'm going to have to pull a shadow down at the top, and I'm going to have to pull a shadow down under the water droplet. So this is where you are going to need to have your sponge ready, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your finger, make sure it's clean, and you are going to start pulling that chalk down into the rest of the water droplet. But I want to leave white, and I want to let some of that green show through. So at the top, I'm going to pull the shadow down. On the bottom, I'm going to pull the shadow down as well, but it is going to be up under the droplet. So what we're going to do at the bottom is we're just going to gently go this way, okay? Very gently, very gently. I just kind of smudged that chalk to give it a shadow up underneath there, okay? You may want to just do your tops first. So let me do that. I'm going to clean my finger. Okay, I don't want too much chalk on my hand whenever I go into my other droplet. I'm going to pull the shadow down. Do you see how I'm pulling it down? I'm pulling it down. That's also giving me all those values I need of the gray. Okay, I'm pulling it down, but I'm leaving that green through there to give it that translucent look. I'm pulling it down. Perfect. Okay, I forgot my little shadow there. Let me do that real quick. All right, now it's the bottom part that's going to be the hardest because you don't want too much shadow up underneath the droplet. So you're just going to take it and you're just going to barely smudge. Okay. You might want to clean your finger off every time you do this so you don't have too much on your finger. It just takes a little smudge. All right, now this is where if you want to take your eraser, we're going to clean it up. When we did our droplet study, remember it was really perfectly clean up at the top. We had a really dark spot at the top. It was really clean. And at the bottom is where you had your shadow. So you want to just kind of go around your edges gently. I'm going to really clean it up at the top. I want that really dark, nice dark. See how you want that really cleaned up at the top. You really just kind of want that black to show up at the top. And if you have way too much shadow at the bottom, this is your time to take your eraser and you just want to You just want that shadow at the very bottom, not so much on the edges of the water droplet. And I'm going to clean this up. I want that nice, crisp, black line up at the top of my water droplet. All right, so this is where we're going to add our detail. Remember at the bottom of the water droplet where the black was, there was a really white, it was really white and bright. So I'm just going to go over that with my chalk right here at the bottom. I'm going to go just do a little bit of white right on top of that black because I want that really bright. Right above, there was some contrast. If you remember, it was really, really dark and then really, really white right above that dark line. Again, we're doing this very gently, very carefully. All right. Again, if you want to take your eraser, if you got any stray marks on your paper, this is your time to take your eraser, clean it up, clean your little water droplet. You want it really, really dark line up at the top. You want a dark little line and then a shadow at the bottom. It's really bright white right above that dark line. And then we're going to go in and add that highlight. That really bright highlight, and we're going to have to use paint to do that because the chalk's not bright enough, and we need a really bright highlight. And when we did the water droplet study, remember it was right up there on top of the water droplet on the dark part, and it was also in the shadow of the water droplet. So we're going to add a reflective light on the top of the water droplet and in the shadow. Now, if you want to add a little more detail, if you want to take your chalk and just add you some little reflective lights, like maybe it didn't really actually form a water droplet, but you have a little bit of, you have a reflection light on there, you can do that. You know, I just kind of added a few little white droplets. You can do that. You can blend them out. All right. So now, for those of you who want yours folded, I think we are going to fold before we add the bright highlight. So we're not done with our water droplets yet. But if you want to fold your leaf so that it looks like this, give it some more texture, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it. You're going to come to your corner and you're just going to fold this in, almost like a dog ear, okay? And then you're going to do that little accordion thing. I don't know if you know how to do the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I go this way, I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to go back, just the opposite way. And if you want to turn it this way, if this is easier for you, you can do it this way, back, forth. And you're going to keep doing this all the way, back, forth, back, forth, back, and forth. I'm holding it in my hands and I'm just flipping it back, forth, back, fold, forth, fold. And when you open it up, you'll have something that looks like this. Now, this is one of the reasons why I didn't want you to do the paint part yet. So if this happens, that's okay. We can fix it because you can go in and you can erase those marks. All right, so let's go ahead and add our detail. I got my little stray marks off. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to dip you will probably only need 1 or 2 dips of your brush. You're going to come to the top of the water droplet and you're just going to do a small little reflection light. And then you're going to put 1 in the shadow, 1 on the top in the dark place of the droplet, and 1 in the shadow. 1 up there, 1 in the shadow, and you can put it wherever you want. 1 in the shadow. Look at that, I did not even dip my brush again. And look how that just popped it out. Oh, I forgot one. You can tell how much it popped it out because look at that one compared to the other ones. Again, this is detail, boys and girls.